Hi guys, today we're going to be learning how to make stencils. To make stencils you can use any material that you want to. So I usually use transparency sheets like OHP sheets which are really thin. They're around 0.05 mm thickness. So you can use mylar sheets or sheets which are thicker than transparent 5 mm or point 0.5 mm or point 0.5 mm, or you can or you can or you can or you can go a little higher as well, because Explore Air can cut through these thicknesses as well, or you can also do it on your cardstock. Either of these will work just fine. So making stencil is not a very difficult, and part of it is you can make whichever design you want to, and voila, you have stencils and you don't have to keep buying more designs every time that you want to create something new and special. Coming to making the stencils today, so I'm going to take a basic square shape. So we'll be learning 2 or 3 different patterns of stencils. So I'm going to show you how to make them. But then we're not going. It's a very simple and easy technique to do, which works on a slicing effect. So here we go. I'm going to be making it. So always remember to images so you can play with them and adjust their sizes or their angles, or arrange them on your mirror side, or etc. like that. So here I'll be making a 3x5 stencil. Okay, and I always like to work on a white background because it gives me an easier access and in placing my images than cutting them. So I have a few images that I've uploaded onto my design space already, which I've used for making stencils. So I'll be choosing few from those. Yep, I have around 200 images that I've uploaded. Sorry guys, this might take a while to upload, so just bear with me. Yeah, today I'm gonna choose 2 designs, a butterfly and a mandala. Okay, let me try another one as well. Okay. I guess I'm gonna go with some flowers. So I'm gonna choose this. So we'll be doing 3 different design stencils. So in this way you can cut alphabets, you can cut phrases, you can cut sentences, you can cut any design that you have. Make sure your images are in SVG format. I don't prefer any other format because it's not very easy to manage or edit them to your desired files. If you're just gonna 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 print and cut, or just take that image and do a vinyl, or just take that image and cut it, then PNG would work. But if you want to play with the image, edit it and do all such stuff, then it's always good to go with an SVG format. So the first design I'm going to take is butterfly. So since my stencil size itself is 3x5, so I would like to work with something smaller. So I'm going to go with, say, 2 inches. Oops, sorry. You can always undo it. And also remember again, Now that you don't want to change the ratio at which your butterfly is, so you don't have to unlock your image. You can directly type here and say 2. So approximately the ratio will be changed. So you don't have to worry about it, like you don't have to sit and calculate the it again and rechange it again. Just keep the image locked and change the size. So I'm going to make copies of this. So I'll get 3 images in the 3 or 2 images in the same stencil. So I'll also have multiple copies. You can place it however you want to, at the angle that you want to. It actually doesn't matter. And your magic begins here. Just say slice and it will get sliced. And here you have your stencil. So it's gonna cut the shape on your sheet. So you do it on your cardstock, you can do it on your transparency sheet, you can do it on a thicker than transparency sheets if you have, and you can do it on mylar sheets. That's the actual stencils that you buy outside. That's the material that it's made of. Or you can do it on wood. If you have Nika, you can do it on balsa wood or any other wood that you have and you've worked on. You can do this. So it's as simple. You can do it on leather as well. So this is the technique where you follow to do slicing and create amazing stencils of your own designs. Okay, coming to the next one, which is gone down. Again, it's the same. Stay slice. And there you have. So now you have your stencil ready. This is it. It's as simple as this. It's just a 2 minutes work, but then you need to have a very good SVG file. And in the same demo today, I'm going to show you how to make 2-layered butterflies. So I hope you guys love it. Here we go. And now we're going to do with the flowers. And I want to keep it in a square format because my flowers are in a circular shape and it's easy to cut and manage when you're doing your work. So I'll go with 0.5. I would also suggest, like, every time that you're gonna play with stencils or design your stencils, remember to leave at least 1 inch on the sides. So it's easy for you when you're doing your coloring or you're doing your dabbing work or you're doing stamping or you're doing any other work, spray work, or you're going to design it for using vinyls or paint, anything, etc. So always leave 1 inch gap. If you're going to stick it onto another surface, you need to put your tapes on so it stays in the place. So it's always good to leave at least 1 inch of gaps on the side. If you're confident and if you've worked with it before, then half an inch would be great. But then if it's the first time that you're doing, I would suggest, and it would be really good if you leave 1 inch of gap in the sides. This image, guys, this image is not gonna work because I've already played with this image and I've converted into a PNG format and it's grouped, so I can't do my stencil on this. Anyways, I'll give it another try and see. Sorry. Yeah. There you go. See, you have your stencil here. Yeah, so this is what you can do. So I'm gonna show you how you can do a double layered butterfly. So there's something called contour. Contour is somewhere you can take out the designs, the inside designs, so you can hide them. Here you go. You can hide all these patterns. You need to have a little patience to hide all the parts. So see, this is the main advantage that you find on an SVG format that you don't find on other formats. See, and tada, you have your plain butterfly without any cuttings or the designs that is there. So now I'm gonna change the color of this so it will be easy to see. Which should be great. So there you have your layered butterfly. So what you can do is you can also increase the size of this a little, maybe 0.3. Yeah, and you can place your butterfly here. There you go. So how you can do your layering or double layered butterflies or any other image, flowers or anything that you want to play with, or mandala designs like this, or animals. If you want to give a double effect, the background has to be in plain color and the top layer has to be in design background or anything like that, you can do this. So this is how you do your double layered butterflies. So coming to making it, since couple of videos I've not explained how to use your mats, how to align them on your mats. So today I'm gonna explain you how to use your mats. So when you're working with your stencils, I would suggest you to go with a standard grip because it holds the material more stronger. Standard grip mats, and that will be cut, 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 which will always give a disturbance when you're cutting the rest of your images. So if you're using a standard grip mat, all the material will be held onto the mat very tight, so it will help you with or any disturbance or doesn't get stuck on your blades. So it will always be good to use your standard grip mat. If you're using any material that is way too 1.1, then you have to go to your strong grip mat, right? And yeah, let's say you're doing a butterfly you're doing on your cardstock. So depending on the GSM of your cardstock, you can go. I usually do it on my light grip mat. Till around 220 GSM thickness, you can use a light grip mat. If you're going above that, it is always advisable to go for standard grip mats. Yeah. Now see, it's a different colored mat, but then you say that you have the same color, but one is pattern and one is plain. All you can do is simple. say move the object. So you can move it to any mat that you want to. So I want it to be on the second mat itself. So I move it here. The color automatically gets changed and you can always move it in the position. You just have to hold your image and move it. As simple as that goes. So you do not worry that like every time you have to, if it is one or two images that you're cutting, you don't have to worry that there are multiple colors and you have to keep cutting it, adding the sheets again and uh, loading it into the machine, then cutting, then taking out, then cutting, then loading, then cutting. So it's a tedious process to do it repeatedly. So this is what you can do. You can just move the image to the same mat that you're going to work on, and what you can do is you can move your images a little farther away, so you can use different colored cardstocks or different materials, fabric or vinyl that you're using. So one vinyl of this size, say 3 inch by 3 inch, and 3 inch by 3 inch for your background cut and your pattern cut. So both will happen in your same mat, so you don't have to repeatedly keep inserting, taking out and loading your mat with different color cardstocks or different vinyls or different materials of fabric, whatever you're gonna use. So then now coming to the blades, I'm very sorry I won't be able to connect to my Cricut because I don't have access to my machine right now. So but then I'll explain you how you can go ahead with it. So here what happens is they're going to say which device you want to select and connect to. Whichever machine that you have, you get connected to it. Since I'm not able to connect, I can't explain you how exactly it works. So here you have set materials. So you can set your material to different options that is being given by your Cricut. So there, like for fabric you have 6 to 7 different types of fabric. For felt you have 6 to 7 types, then transparency sheets and washi tapes, and then you have for cardstock, you have glitter stock, you have vinyl, you have iron on. So it goes on so and so. So based on the material that you're using, you can set the material. So make sure the knob on your Air 2 Explore Air 2 machine, I'm going to explain only for Explore Air 2 which I have. So if you have that, set the knob to custom. So when you set the knob to custom, the list drops down, so you can select the material that you're using. You can always do what is, you can set the blade pressure to medium, or do you want it high, or do you want it low. So there's the options that you can always choose. So when you're doing with cardstock, like till up to 220 to 280 GSM, you can always use a fine tip fine point blade. If you're going higher than that, you can use a deep cut blade. So I usually use fine point for almost all my projects, unless and until I'm crossing, for which I GSM, for which I use deep cut blade, or any materials that need like too much pressure to be cut through, then I use deep cut blade. If not, fine point should work. So after setting this, say uh, the arrow mark, so your mat will be loaded, then say C, press C on your machine, that says Cricut. So your work is getting done. So here also you can still edit. To some extent you can edit, like moving the images, placing it, or making a mirror image of whatever you want. So this is how you can do. So this is it, guys, and hope to see your projects, and you can tag us. Once your projects are done, you can share it with me personally, or you can tag it on your page and give credit to us. You can do it either way. So here it is to make a stencil and how to do your layering. Hope you guys enjoy this, and it's very easy, and it's an amazing way to make your party favors, birthday favors, or these stencils to make your cards, to make your embellishments, to make for your scrapbooks, etc. And the layering for your party favors, etc. So see you soon, guys. I'll come up with another demo very soon, and hope all you enjoy your quarantine time. See ya.